everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Medaram and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our Daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our Daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 18th of February 2022. Starting with very first question. Medaram Jatara is a fair celebrated in which Indian state? So this festival is the second largest fair of India after Kumbh Mela, and it is celebrated by the Koya tribal community of Telangana. So the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has sanctioned 2.26 crore rupees for various activities related to the Medaram Jatara 2022. And at present, the Jatara festival is biennially celebrated by the Koya tribes in collaboration with the Tribal Welfare Department in the state of Telangana. Okay. So talking about Telangana, do remember that it stood first in the implementation of Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Rural Mission, and Sangareddy, Kamareddy districts claimed the first two positions among the 300 clusters across the country where the program is being implemented. And the aim of the scheme is to promote local economic development, enhance basic services, and create well-planned clusters. Fine. Now apart from it, the 17th edition of Mumbai International Film Festival for Documentary, Short Fiction and Animation Films 2022 is scheduled to take place from 29th of May to 4th of June 2022. And the best documentary of the festival will receive a golden conch and 10 lakh rupees in a cash award. Okay. Now let's see some of the important fairs and festivals. First of all, there is Kanchod. It is an annually celebrated festival by the Nag followers across the Chenab Valley region in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Who is the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu Kashmir? It is Manoj Sinha. Next is Torgya Festival. It is celebrated in the state of Arunachal Pradesh by the Monpa tribal community. Okay. Then third is Sputuk Gustor Festival. It is celebrated by the Ladakhi workers in the Union Territory of Ladakh. Fine. Then there is Bathu Kamma. It is a floral festival that is celebrated mainly in Telangana and in some parts of Andhra Pradesh for total 9 days. Okay. Also last year, Flipkart has partnered with the government of Telangana to lead the Medicines from the Sky project for the drone deliveries of the medical supplies to the remote areas in Telangana. Okay. Now last year we have seen that Rudreswara temple has been inscribed in the UNESCO's World Heritage List. Can you tell me in which particular state does this temple lie? Please answer me in the comments. Question number 2. Ilker Ayci, former Turkish Airlines Chairman, has been appointed as MD and CEO of which Indian Airlines? So the Tata Group has appointed Ilker Ayci, who is the former Turkish Airlines Chairman, as Air India's Managing Director and CEO. So the decision is in line with the Tata Group's plan to appoint an expatriate chief to run Air India, which it took over from the Indian government recently. Okay. Now do remember that British Airways will become the first airline to use the sustainable aviation fuel, which is produced on a commercial scale in the UK after signing the agreement with Phillips 66. So sustainable aviation fuel is a low carbon intensity fuel that can be produced from renewable feedstock such as vegetable oil, fat, greases, etc. And it will be supplied to the British Airways to power many of its flights from early 2022. Okay. Now, when do we observe International Civil Aviation Day? It is observed on 7th of December to raise awareness about the role aviation plays in the social and economic development, and the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is a United Nations body, is the nodal agency to manage and ensure cooperation among various air carriers. Okay, headquarter lies in Canada. Also, in the month of November, central government has declared the airport of Srinagar as a major airport under the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of 2008. So under this, the center can designate an airport as a major airport if it has annual passenger of at least 35 lakh people. Now, apart from all these things, Square Kilometre Array Observatory, which is proposed to be the world's largest radio telescope, will be built in Australia and South Africa within the decade, and headquarters lies in UK. So India recently signed an interim agreement to work on this project, and this agreement will be valid for 1 year. Also, India can make monetary contribution towards the construction while it has not become a member country. Okay. Apart from all these things, also we have seen that Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev has recently laid the foundation stone for Kamalpur Kurmaghat border between India and Bangladesh in Dhalai district. So this is expected to boost the trade relations between the two countries. Fine. Question number 3. The Archaeological Survey of India is an agency functioning under the aegis of which union ministry? So the Archaeological Survey of India is an Indian government agency that functions under the aegis of Ministry of Culture. So ASI is in the process of reviving its underwater archaeology wing that has not been functioning over recent years, and ASI appointed Mr. Alok Tripathi, an expert in underwater archaeology, as its additional Director General in 2021. Now, apart from it, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is conducting a 3-day program named as New Frontiers on Renewable Energy. So this has been conducted as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, and a brainstorming meeting on roadmap to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2070 will also be conducted. Okay. Then National Health Authority is the nodal agency for the implementation of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri's Jan Arogya Yojana. So the Union Health Ministry announced that the National Health Authority is working to integrate the database of socio-economic caste census 2011 beneficiaries with the National Food Security Act portal. Okay. Now, apart from all these things, Ministry of Electronics and IT, in association with ICEA, released a 5-year roadmap and vision document for the electronic sector, and titled as $300 billion Sustainable Electronics Manufacturing and Exports by 2026. This is actually the second volume of a 2-part vision document. First was increasing India's electronic exports and share in GVCs. Okay. So if you are asked that what is the target of electronics manufacturing and exports to be achieved by 2026, answer is $300 billion. Okay. Question number 4. Which country's researchers joined the ISRO for developing a satellite for the very first time? So for the first time, Indian Space Research Organization launched a satellite jointly developed by a team of international researchers including from Taiwan. What is the name of the satellite? It is InspireSat-1. It stands for International Research and Teaching Satellite Project Satellite 1. Okay. So it has been developed by scientists from universities of USA, Taiwan, India and Singapore. So Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-52 mission launched on Earth Observation Satellite 4 and 2 others. Okay. Now astronomers have recently discovered a third moon that orbits the main belt asteroid 130 Electra. So this is the first quadruple asteroid ever found. Okay. So Electra is a large main belt asteroid first discovered in the year 1873, and it has an effective diameter of 199 kilometers. So the discovery of first quadruple asteroid system will help in understanding the mechanism of the formation of these satellites. Okay. So talking about Taiwan, USA has recently approved $100 million support contract with Taiwan to boost the Taiwan's missile defense system amid the tensions with China. And this fund would be used to improve the Taiwan's Patriot missile defense system as per the Defense Security Cooperation Agency. Now, apart from all these things, recently United Nations has announced that the world is to face 5 major risks in 2022. And these risks are referred as 5-alarm global fire. So what are these 5 risks? First is obviously COVID pandemic. Second is lawlessness in cyberspace. Third is climate crisis. Fourth is bankrupt global financial system. And last is diminished peace and security. Okay. So these are the 5 risks that we have to face in 2022 as per the United Nations. Also, United Nations has launched the largest country-specific appeal for the country, Afghanistan. So this is a $5 billion appeal, means according to UN member countries, $5 billion is required to save the Afghanistan. Okay. Question number 5. Which Indian company has formed a joint venture with Foxconn to manufacture semiconductors in India? So Vedanta and Hon Hai Technology, also known as Foxconn, have formed a joint venture to manufacture the semiconductors in India. And this is the first joint venture in the electronics manufacturing space after the production linked incentive scheme. So in the month of December 2021, the center cleared a PLI scheme for semiconductor and display board production targeting an investment of 76,000 crore rupees over the next 5 to 6 years. Okay. Then apart from it, digital services company Geo Platforms has formed a joint venture with Luxembourg-based SES to deliver the satellite broadband services across India. And SES is a satellite-linked content connectivity solutions provider, and it is to deliver the satellite broadband services across India. So the joint venture will provide SES satellite data and connectivity services in India basically. Okay. Now let's revise some of the important books and authors. First is The Fearless Governance. It has been authored by Kiran Bedi. Second is Operation Khatma. It has been authored by 2 of the journalists. First is R.C. Ganju and second is Ashwini Bhatnagar. Now one very important book is Pride, Prejudice and Punditry. It has been authored by Shashi Tharoor. After that, Mamta Beyond 2021 has been authored by Jayant Ghosal. It is based on the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee. Then autobiography of Arundhati Bhattacharya has recently been released, and the name of the book is Indomitable, a working woman's notes on life, work and leadership. Who is Arundhati Bhattacharya? She is refined Indian banker and former first ever woman chairperson of State Bank of India. Okay. Question number 6. Which state has witnessed protest for including the Bhojpuri and Magahi as regional language in government jobs? So several parts of Jharkhand are witnessing massive protest against the inclusion of Bhojpuri and Magahi as the regional languages in the district level competitive examinations for the government jobs. So the state government issued a notification to include Magahi, Bhojpuri and Angika among others as the regional languages in the district level selection process through exams conducted by the Jharkhand Staff Selection Commission. Okay. Now talking about Jharkhand, few days back it has announced the concession of 25 rupees per litre on petrol and diesel prices for the two-wheelers owned by the poor, and the concession will be given for the 10 litres of petrol every month. Okay. Also, Jharkhand has launched an initiative called as Safe and Responsible Migration Initiative, and it aims for a systematic registration of migrant workers in the source as well as in the destination district. So this program will basically help the state to analyze the movement of people through a formal structure. Also, the state government has decided to set up 2 labor consulates in Ladakh and in Kerala. Okay. Then Surya Regional Water Supply Project is being implemented in Mumbai, which will provide 403 million liters per day water supply to two of the municipal corporations at the western sub-region of Mumbai. So this program is expected to be completed in phases till 2023. Also, Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi has laid the foundation stone of 594 kilometers Ganga Expressway in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And after completion of the work, it will be the longest expressway of UP that connects the western and eastern regions of the state. And this will be built at a cost of more than 36,000 crore rupees. Okay. Question number 7. Which country has signed $375 million deal with India to buy 3 batteries of the BrahMos cruise missile? So Philippines has signed a $375 million deal with India to buy 3 batteries of the BrahMos cruise missile from India. And recently India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held discussions with his Philippines counterpart on mutual national security and development aspirations. So External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has undergone a 3-day maiden visit to the country Philippines. Now recently in the month of January, DRDO has test fired the BrahMos advanced variant, which is a sea-to-sea variant of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, and it was tested from INS Vishakhapatnam. So BrahMos was developed under the joint collaboration of India and Russia, and it can be launched from air, sea and land. Also, the country North Korea has recently tested the railway-borne missile. Means the missile was launched from the train itself, and it is a kind of ballistic missile. Earlier they used to test the hypersonic missiles, but this missile flew 800 kilometers and struck a target in the eastern coast of North Korea. Also, we have seen that South Korea's first domestically produced space launch vehicle, KSLV-2 Nuri rocket, failed recently due to a loose helium tank. And all the 3 stages of the rocket worked properly, taking it to a height of 700 kilometers and 1.5 ton payload separated successfully, but the mission failed as the 3rd stage engine stopped burning just 46 seconds earlier than the scheduled time. Okay. Now last month in June 2021, Philippines was added into the grey list of Financial Action Task Force, and Philippines was added along with 3 other countries named as Haiti, Malta and South Sudan. Do remember that Pakistan is still in the grey list of FATF. Question number 8. Which country has invoked a never before used emergency power to curtail the protest demanding end of COVID restrictions? So Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked a never before used emergency power to curtail the protest demanding end of COVID restriction, and this decision was taken after anti-government protest in the Canadian capital and blockades at border crossings with the US. So the country is witnessing over 2 weeks of freedom convoy protest by Canadian truckers and their supporters demanding an end to all COVID restrictions. Okay. Now talking about Canada, recently it has officially banned the conversion therapy. And with this, it has joined a selected list of countries that discontinued the treatment that claims to be able to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. And the countries that have earlier banned it are Brazil, Ecuador, Germany and Malta. Also, a few days back we have seen that after the government of France announced the vaccine pass, over 1 lakh protesters rallied in the country to oppose the government plans to restrict the rights of being unvaccinated. Actually, recently France recorded more than 3 lakh COVID-19 infections in a single day, and the country's lower house approved a government bill that will require the individuals to prove they are fully vaccinated against the COVID before they can move in the public places. And also, these similar protests were in Germany and in Italy. Okay. Now, Fair Trade Regulator, the Competition Commission of India, has ordered a probe against the Google for its alleged abuse of dominant position, and as per the commission, Google has violated the provisions of Section 4 of the Competition Act 2002, which pertains to abuse of dominant position. Fine. Question number 9. Which High Court recently struck down the state's ban on online gambling after Kerala and Tamil Nadu? So after Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka High Court has struck down the state's ban on online gambling, declaring it to the ultra vires under the constitution. So the court struck down the key amendments to the Karnataka Police Act 1963, which were brought in last year to ban all forms of gambling in the state, and the court said that the state may bring in legislation to regulate the betting and gambling in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. Fine. Now, which state has recently passed a bill to recover the property damages from the protesters? Answer is Madhya Pradesh government. So the bill also provides for setting up a tribunal which would look into the claims of property damages during the riots or public protest, and the state assembly has also passed a resolution that panchayat elections will not be held without OBC reservation. Okay. Now apart from it, Haryana government has recently amended its Excise Act, reducing the age limit to purchase, sell or consume the liquor from 25 years to 21 years. So the Haryana Excise Act 1914 provides that the lease for manufacturing of any country liquor or intoxicating drug may be granted to any man above 25 years. But now this has been reduced to 21 years. Also Delhi has reduced this age limit to 21 years. Okay. The Maharashtra government has tabled a report with recommendations of a joint selection committee to amend its Shakti bill. And Maharashtra government Shakti criminal laws propose to increase the punishment for offences such as rape or acid attack. And also it proposes the capital, heavy fines and speedy trial for the perpetrators. Fine. Now coming to last question. Which state has the maximum household electrified through the solar-based standalone system under the Saubhagya scheme? So Rajasthan has the maximum household electrified through the solar-based standalone system under the Saubhagya scheme. And the hill states of Himachal Pradesh and Sikkim and the Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir has no beneficiaries under this initiative. So Rajasthan is followed by Chhattisgarh and then Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Now apart from it, environment clearance has been issued to as many as 60 mining areas, and legal mining of Bajri, means riverbed sand, is initiated in Rajasthan. So 4 years ago, the Supreme Court banned the sand mining activities in the riverbeds until a scientific replenishment study was completed, and the Supreme Court later appointed a central empowered committee to probe the issue of illegal sand mining. Fine. Then the Texas Attorney General is suing Facebook's parent company Meta, saying it allegedly collected biometric data on Texans for commercial purposes without their consent. And this suit claims that Facebook parent Meta has been storing millions of biometric identifiers including retina or iris scans, voice prints or a record of hand and face geometry. Okay. So you can be asked that which US state has sued Facebook parent Meta over facial recognition data? Answer is Texas. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked this session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Sana signing off.